It finishes Bayern Munich 5, Arsenal 1. I feel inclined to start with you, Craig, considering what you had to say about Arsene Wenger and their fans just last week.
Well, yeah, last week the fans, I called them, some of them spineless, and this week I could equally say the players, the team are spineless. The manager is spineless, because if I had anything about him whatsoever, then he'd walk. If not now, at the end of the season, he would just announce it now and say, the deal's done, I'm going. The Arsenal board are also spineless, because they must be able to see this as well. How many years and how many times must this happen for people to sit up and say, this club is not going forward? That was an utter embarrassment. That was men against babies, not men against boys. And the only way forward is for the management to change. Simple.
You know what's interesting is that when this draw came out, and we sat here, objectively said, well, Arsenal is out, Arsenal fans would jump back and say, you know what, this is a different Arsenal. Really? Really? This is a different Arsenal? It's exactly the same story. And it's simple as the fact that you have top-tier talent on one side with Bayern Munich, and those that pretend to be top-tier talent with Arsenal. Arsenal is the definition of an overrated team, an overrated squad, overrated players. And until they don't sort themselves out and see themselves in the mirror and understand that, you know what, we are not as good as Robert Lewandowski, and we do not have a player as good as Lewandowski. We do not have a player as good as Thiago Alcantara. We do not have as good of players as some of the real talented top-tier teams in Europe. They're going to continue to run into this. And they're running into this in the Premier League. They're running into this in Champions League. They're simply not good enough if you want to win and achieve important things.
I mean, Dan, they were schooled tonight. Schooled. Why would Alexis Sanchez want to sign a new contract at that club?
Yeah.
When he's got that type of ambition behind him from the board and the manager and the owners, why would he want to stay? Because he's got more to offer than that, than being in the top four and getting spanked in the Champions League. I mean, he does his bit, he runs around and he tries his best, he can play several positions. Out-muscled now, fought in midfield. You bring Mustafi in, who's a decent player but not a great player, and as Ali said, everybody said, oh, Arsenal, this is a different Arsenal side. They don't even have a natural striker. Alexis Sanchez is great to go and play up there. And who said things at Bayern Munich were not great and that Bayern Munich were not brilliant? Is this because these people need to get out of bed with Pep Guardiola, right? And stop the love-in and saying, well, this is not Pep's Bayern, it's not very good. He lets the players relax a little bit in training. Well, here's the deal. They're top of the Bundesliga by quite a stretch again, and they've just absolutely marmalised, that's my word from yesterday, marmalised, and I can use it again today, Arsenal. Not that that's very difficult, but shut up about Ancelotti saying, well, this is not Pep. Of course it's not Pep, but he might just win the Champions League.
Now, here's the thing with, just going back to Arsenal.
Back to Arsenal.
If I'm an Arsenal fan...
If you're an Arsenal fan,
no,
and you're still saying Wenger in.
Here's the thing that disappointed me. We saw it in the Chelsea game. Once Alonso scored, heads down, boom, game's over. We saw it again in the second half. They can see that second goal. There was absolutely no way you saw no way back into the match. Where is the drive? Where is the passion? Where is the desire from surely players that want to do better, that want to succeed, that want to win?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, and it's disjointed. I don't for 1 minute think the players are not putting effort in. Not for 1 minute. Maybe Mesut Ozil now and again, and that's not picking on Ozil. It's fact. He walks about. But most of the players, I think, are trying the best, but they're disjointed, and that comes from the coaching staff. But if you're an Arsenal fan and you're still in this, well, I feel sorry because Wenger's given us some great times, then you're a mug. If you're still in that camp, you are a mug. Right? Because it's just not going in the right direction. That's simple to see. And it's not the reason. It's absolutely not the reason. As Ali said, Koscielny going off, Gabriel coming on is not an excuse. Ospina playing is not an excuse. But you're treating the Arsenal fans with disdain. He's a reserve goalkeeper. I heard some Arsenal people tell me today, well, Ter Stegen and Bravo did it at Barcelona. Do not compare Arsenal to Barcelona, because in 2015, they wiped the floor with everybody doing this. Arsenal ain't in that position.
You look at a team that is down 2-1, and you mentioned the momentum in that game, it just felt like Arsenal was just going to have to hang on for the rest of the match. Well, if you know that that's how the game is turning, and it's now 3-1, you can't continue to try to play just free-flowing. At some point, if you're really serious about competing, if you're really serious about advancing in the competition, it cannot go past 3. You have to give yourself a chance at home. Arsenal, they continue to play as if, oh, it's all right. It's okay. we really have Bayern Munich where we want them. Bayern Munich, superior to Arsenal in every single aspect of the game, and Arsenal gives goals to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich doesn't need help. They can do fine by themselves. But when Arsenal is given those sort of opportunities, then you just see a team that lacks that commitment, lacks that competitiveness, lacks that identity, and they have a crisis in terms of what is it that we need to do in order to beat a team of this caliber. They don't know which way to go, because in order to do that, you have to defend well, and it's something that Arsenal doesn't do naturally. They want to be able to play. Well, you can outplay Bayern Munich in Munich. Good luck with that.
It's a well-run club. It is a well-run club. So it's a great club, Arsenal. Fantastic stadium. Always has been an excellently drilled football club. Very classy. Even when you used to go to Highbury, the old Highbury, classy place. Well-run club with a football team that is now getting left behind, and that's just a fact.
Meanwhile, Bayern, you look at the SBI, obviously the SBI has them as...
Is this the first zero? It's the first zero. Oh.
It's happened once before.
Well, they did get an
in the
away
European
goal.
Cup. I think 1985, Real Madrid against Borussia Mönchengladbach. They did turn it around.
Who turned it around?
Well, Real Madrid
Yeah,
did.
well, not Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Bayern now, would you go as far as say, if we are betting, if we're doing the bets right now, are they favourites to win this tournament?
Well, I think probably Real Madrid for me.
Still Madrid?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not picking on Raf because Raf's not here, our colleague, but I've heard it from a lot of people and I've read it. It's not the same. Of course, how thick are some people?
This is from the Pep Guardiola and Ancelotti.
Yeah,
Is that what
it's not this. Of course, it's not the same. Here's the deal: you change manager, things change. Different mindset, different management style, different training, different preference of players. All that takes time. Sometimes they're top of the league, but yet, some of the players are. Honestly, I was fed up listening to some people harping on about, well, it's different from the Pep era. Of course it's different from the Pep era. Does that mean it's any less successful than the Pep era?
It may just be more successful.
And this team just seems to drip with experience, but not quite where we were with maybe Barcelona yesterday. They haven't quite turned that corner into old age.
Well, no. No, not quite the way Barcelona
Although
did
you've got
yesterday.
Alonso, you've got Lahm.
Yes, but you also have the dynamic legs of Thiago Alcantara, who might have been the best player on the field tonight. And that in itself just gives you an idea of what Bayern Munich can be. They have Thomas Muller coming off the bench. They have Robert Lewandowski, a player who anybody in the world, any of the big teams would want that guy to be their number 9. And he is a number 9 for Bayern Munich. And they have talent everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere they go. They have the experience of the competition. They're going to win the Bundesliga. They're going to win everything in Germany there is to win. Bayern Munich is now looking at Champions League. So yes, they could very well be the favorites.
Arsenal, meanwhile, we're looking at a very familiar story. This will be the 7th time in a row in which they would be knocked out of the round of 16. It's an incredible run that just looks to continue under Wenger.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.